Alright gang, how we doing? We're going to play a 15 plus 10 if my opponent wants to play, and he does. This is KB Madilola from South Africa. Okay, and we've got an E4, E5. So we're playing the Freddy Krueger repertoire. I'm going to play nice E6. And let's see what we're going to get. Okay, we have gone to Spain. Alright. Now here we always capture this way in case of this or in case of this. Okay, and there we go. This is normal. This is quite normal. Now we're attacking the knight. Okay, so what are they going to do? And this is normal in the Spanish anyway, because this doesn't really work. And if the knight takes here, some people think, oh well, the knight can't take there because look, the rook hangs. But no, it doesn't, because of this queen is the whole point. So if they take, queen takes here with check. This is the point. She can't take the rook. There we go. And we go to d8. Why do we go to d8? Because if we go here, we block in this bishop. If we go here, we block in this bishop. This we do not want to do. Okay, she can't take here because the bishop defends. And black is actually perfectly good here. Now, I've had this position. The rook defends the knight. No one defends the bishop, but it's not under attack. The queen defends the rook. Now, if I was to do this, it would drop the knight, so we can't do that. Okay. I can do takes. Takes, and then I can't take because the queen will defend. Knight e7 is a move, but I remember we had this in a Chess Bootcamp Live the other day, and we actually worked through a game, and I'm sure it was from this position, and I'm sure that Knight e7 was not the correct move. But I can't think of what's better. I really can't. I think it's Knight e7 in this position. We're extra defending the pawn. The pawn's then defended twice. But more than that, we've got tempo on the queen. Then we might be able to play rook g8. And the rook on g8 looks at g2. So that's what we're going to do. It might be a slightly different position. And the only other thing was maybe bishop here, but then actually pawn there. That doesn't work, does it? Pawn there, and that's just literally a fork. So it's not that. It could have possibly bishop here, threatening that. King d1. That's the only other possibility. Queen still defends this. That defends that. The rook now defends the bishop, whereas it was defending the pawn. Okay, now we can take here, takes, check. Bishop goes there, queen takes b2, winning the rook, I think. Unless the knight comes out, but then the queen takes the knight from b2. So I think this looks jolly good. We also, though, we do have rook g8. Rook g8 hits the queen and skewers the queen onto the pawn. If we do that, if we get rook takes g2, we might have queen takes f2 check as well, which is very deadly indeed. So I quite like this as a move. See, the queen will want to defend this pawn, right? So she can do that from two squares. Now if she goes to this one, so I'm going to sneeze. Wow, goodness me, that's got it. I think she's going to have to go here. But then we take this anyway, takes. Here, see if she goes here, I can take this pawn with a discovered attack by the bishop. So my hunch is this move is the better move of the two. And you can get into, this is why the Jaenisch is so much fun, because you really do get into these super sharp positions. All white's got out on the board is this queenie. And it looks like white's got a reasonable position, but that counts for nothing. Because here's the point, I've got all these active pieces. And yeah, it doesn't look like they're super well developed, but here's the point. A rook can be on the back rank and very active. A bishop can be on the back rank and very active. Right? So, what are you going to do? You can't take the rook, because it's mega defendified. You can't go to any of these squares. If you go there, it could drop this pawn, with a risk of that. Not really, because queen and king both cover. But I think black is good here. We've lost 3 pawns, but we do have a bishop in return, so material is technically equal. And this is likely to come. Oh, okay, feisty. Now, I could have takes, takes. Bishop defends f2. So I'm slightly disinclined to do that. I've got check here. And now if c3 with tempo, there, come back here. Did it. I've won a pawn back. I've got 2 bishops on a wide open board. He's also a step closer to castling long. If I can prevent him from castling, I would be a happy camper. No. Here, he could also just play bishop d2, but no, bishop d2 hangs b2. So I don't think he'll do that. He could block with a knight, in which case he's pinning his own knight. I don't think he'll go there because he's blocking the bishop in and he wants to castle. So this knight there is a possibility, or c3 is a possibility. But let's assume c3. I don't know where my queen goes. But takes, and takes. I think is better. So that's what I'm going to go for. Now we could look at this at the end as well. Okay, move 11. 2 minutes that took me. And I think he's going to take with the bishop. He could take with the pawn. Okay. So do we just snatch the pawn? He'll probably do this. I might take here. I could take there now. If he takes back, then I take. I like the idea of taking here, and that one reason is that it opens up my bishop, so I think that is worth doing as an in-betweening. Now if he decides to protect this pawn, something like that, then I could just keep gobbling here. So that's alright. Okay, so he's took back there. Right, so there is a free pawn. Or I've got bishop g4. The problem with that is f3, and then he can go ahead and castle. So my hunch is this. And then, let's say he does this, and then I've got bishop there, and then he doesn't have f3 because there's no g2, right? So, there, and he's got no light squared bishop. I, however, have both bishops, and this is going to be key. He has got 2 more pawns, but I've got a whole nother bishop. And I'm going to try and make the case that having that whole nother bishop is a splendid advantage at this point in the game. Now here, and you can't castle. By the way, if you want if you want your pieces to throb and vibrate like this one, then it's arcade mode, animation arcade mode. It's in your settings. He's got this. If I do bishop here, he's got that because the knight defends it. What about this though? This, and he castles. I take the... I want to get this rook into the game. Let's get this bishop involved as well somehow. If this bishop could target that pawn, that would be a good thing. Loads of time. This is all going to come down to some, like, fireworks, isn't it? This is not a game that's going to be ground out peacefully. This is a bloodbath of a game, and that's cool. If I do this, and he does that, he's defended this pawn for free. So my feeling is bishop e6. Stops his knight coming there. And then something like this. I want to get my rook over to the d file. That means this pawn is kind of pinned because I'm looking at it with two rooks. Looking at the knight with two rooks. Having said that, if he long castles, he's got a rook behind the knight. There he goes, look. And now he's threatening to do something. So maybe it's this. I feel like I need my king behind my pawn. So I'm thinking b6, king b7, centralize the rook, or even get both of my rooks on g, possibly. Yeah? Okay, now, is this a thing? I attack the knight, and how are you defending it? Explain this to me. Explain this. I go here. I'm hitting the knight. It cannot be defended by a rook. It cannot be defended by anything. Right? If you want to trade rooks, then I just take that and I defend my rook. And fork this. So there's no check with the bishop. If the knight goes anywhere, I can just take the rook. Okay, so that is your best guess. Okay. I take rook. You take rook. I come back here. And I declare you've got the same problem. Now his rook goes here. That's what happens now. Okay. Now the rook, the rook can't go there. So can I now play king d7? No, now he just moves his knight away, right? I play king... Okay, but this is cool. Okay, so the situation is I've got a 1 pawn advantage on the queen side of the board. He's got a 3-0 on that side of the board. So the only way he's going to do well, more than likely, in the absence of any horrible cock-ups, free pawn, is he's got to push these pawns. But that is one of them gone. And I think it has to be taken, unless I've missed something. And I don't think I have. That's defended anyway. I'm still kind of liking this idea. Engage my rook, and there's just going to be too many pieces flying around with the black hand of Hunty. I was going to say the white hand of Sauron, of Saruman. Saruman! Whom do you serve? Saruman! There we go. Hit it, little bit. Here we go. This. Okay, so here's an idea, right? This is a fork. And actually taking out the bishop would be splendid. I would very happily trade my knight for that bishop, because I've got 2 bishops and I've got a rook guarding the back rank. Okay, my only job in this game is to prevent these pawns, either of these pawns, from becoming a queen. Now, here, yes, it's a fork. It's also, both of these pieces are also defended by that knight, because we're in a kind of a swastika thing here, right? So, but there's also the option of this. Now, if I was to take out that, takes back here, I'm hitting both. He's got this, defending both, right? You see? Bishop here. Gets the bishop out of the thing and defends that one. Now, or what if I go straight in? Well, if I go straight in, he's still got this. So do I have time for this idea? I think I do, and I think it's actually kind of a no-brainer. The only other idea is, do I just need to eradicate this knight? And I don't think so. I do not think so. This is also a possibility. I'm just noticing the fact that the bishop and the king are in line, but without something guarding this square. Oh, actually, that would have guarded that square. But look at this now. Hang on. Hang on. Yeah, yes, he's got this, but it's okay because I've got king b7. Now this has changed things. What's changed? Well, the bishop can't go to g5 anymore. So I hit the bishop and the pawn. There's no check from the knight. There's no check from nothing. He drops the rook down, king b7, and I'm defending the bishop. Right, I'm attacking 2 pieces. He can defend the pawn a couple of ways. He can get the bishop out of there, but that drops the pawn. And if he drops that pawn, then... And also, he's got to be jolly careful now, because anytime I move this bishop, we then create tension between the rooks. And he does not want to lose his rook, does he? So I'm threatening the pawn, I'm threatening the bishop. These pawns are isolated anyway. So I think it sucked to be you. I think it does. If you can hear talking in the background, it's this lodger that I've had staying with me for a few weeks. God, she's loud. Jesus, but it's alright because she's going tomorrow. She's got a right gob on her, as they say. As they say round here, she's got a right gob on her. And she talks like on speakerphone with people. Like, okay. Interesting. Right, that is 2 attackers on the bishop. This is true. So all I need to... Actually, I said that when I move my knight here, we've got an alignment issue, right? Here, we have rook tension. Let's colour that in red. We have rook tension and we have bishop tension. And we have une fourchette. It's not une fourchette, it's a pin. I don't know what pin is in French. A fourchette is a fork, what you eat with. So if I was to take this and he takes back, I can just move the... oh my god, I'm spoiled for choice, aren't I? Got even this as well. No. Bishop here takes... I can't see anything wrong with this. I think we've got to win this way. And that's creating king kahuna tension on the board. This... I'm either going to take his rook or I'm going to take his bishop with check. The knight can technically move with check. And I can technically move away. If I go here, you can't check me there because he gets tucked. go here. He can check me there. And I'm like, whatevs. And he gets... No, he doesn't get that. Okay, sod it. Fuck it. Pull the trigger. Tic-tacs. Now, this guy has got 7 more minutes than me, but you don't get to cash in those 7 minutes at the end of the game. It's either, there's 3 possibilities. It's going to be 1-0, white wins. It's going to be 0-1, black wins. Or it's going to be half-half, draw. And I'll bet you it's not going to be a draw. Not going to be a draw, not today. Not today. Not on my watch. So here, bishop takes bishop, I recapture. Rook takes rook, I recapture. No, in fact, bishop takes bishop, I take rook. So that's not even an option. Taking my bishop is not an option. Moving your bishop away is also not an option. You could move your rook away, but then I take the bishop with check, and you have to recapture. And I might even get the pawn. So there's lots of ways in which this could work out, but I think they all lead the same way, and that hangs your rook. You've just given up an exchange there. It's a rook fork there, isn't it? I think you can resign. I honestly think you can resign. He's down now a full rook for the sake of what? He's got, well, I've got 1 extra pawn on this side. He's got 2 pawns. That's all he's got. And I tell you, they are not getting through. Hell no. If I chuck in this, you've got to play your king there. Exactly. Hey, Jamie. How you doing? How you doing? So Jamie's watching this. Jamie's rated 1631. Easy stuff, Hunty. Yeah, mate. Yay. So, yeah. Anyway, let's go back, because there were a couple of points there that I thought were quite instructive. So, thank you to my opponent. 2 mistakes from me, 87 accuracy and 90... Bosh! It's nice that you can get a blue X-clam, even with 2 mistakes. So, way to go. You took the advantage and finished off your opponent when you saw your chance. I know. Theory, yes. I know. Theory. Now. Okay, this is good. I mean, I wasn't 100% sure, but I did it. Oh, that's interesting. You should have brought out the bishop and pinned the knight. Very interesting. This was good. Saying traded the pawns was better. Now, chess.com, I know you've been messing around with this this thing, but you said rook g8 is good. And here's the best. But what I'd like to see is how much better, right? Because now it's hidden the eval from rook g8, and it's showing me the eval for fe. I'd like to see, actually, this was half a pawn better, or a whole pawn better, or something, right? I'm not sure about this. So minus 207 compared to minus 2.54. It's just under half a pawn. Okay. Anyway. Oh, dropping the queen all the way back to h8, that's very unhuman-like. And it didn't like this move. Okay, but that's a miss. Oh, it's saying I should have gone straight out onto an adventure in the middle of the board. And that's a blunder, because I found the pin. Yeah. And then it's really just yeah, unpleasantness all the way. Great move, obviously great move. You know, that bishop was in an absolute pin, and that just breaks the pin, so... Interesting that this was inaccurate. He could have won a pawn, but that's not the point. The point is winning the game. Okay. So what should he have done? He should have traded rooks, yeah. But it's okay, because it's a winning position anyway. So quite happy with that. Quite content. I'm now 1573. We're racing on towards 1600. But quite honestly, guys, with performances like this, 87.7 and 1900 ratings, God help my opponents. Because I'm going to shoot for 1700 now. I've never been 1700. Let's go for it. But first, let's get 1600 out of the way. Catch me next time. Other than that, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. See you soon.